Yo everyone, how you doing? I'm doing all right myself. I suppose I could go over some of the cool things that happened today, so let's go ahead and do that. Are you ready? Great, let's get started. So, the first thing that was really cool that happened today was that my mom had woken me up to a delicious stack of apple crepes, and they were very good. They had cream cheese, they had boiled apples that were sweetened, uh, and yeah, it was very tasty. Really enjoyed that. I had that with a cup of coffee. Um, Next cool thing that happened was that I watched. I continued watching the Preston Dennett and Area 52 podcast. I didn't finish it yesterday, so I thought I'd finish it today. Um, Anything interesting to say or report about that? Well, there's a lot of details. I guess a lot of the stories that he talked about in his standalone videos, Preston Dead standalone videos, he talks about in this video, and he shares that with Mr. Ramsey, and he's like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" And it's pretty interesting hearing someone like respond to someone's stories of that you've been aware of for a while now. It's pretty interesting. Okay, after that, I was asked to help out my mom with getting rid of some wood because this is the third really cool thing that happened, and that was that when we got the new fence installed, which we got a new fence installed. My mom was able to get that arranged. It looks amazing, by the way. What happened was she wanted to save some money, so she asked the construction crew to leave the wood behind so we could get rid of it ourselves. So they did, and me and her, we were sorting through the wood. She wanted to keep some of the wood to make a path for later um, that goes to the backyard. But as for the wood that we wanted to discard because it was all crummy, we decided to throw that away. The only problem was the wood's really long, and there's no way you could put all that in the green trash can. We can't even do that right now, anyways, because the green trash can is completely full. But we need to get it ready. So I got a buzzsaw blade. Well, my mom got the buzzsaw blade out, but I got this buzzsaw blade and I cut each piece of wood for the next 3 hours until the entire pile of discarded wood that we were trying to get rid of was all in perfectly compact boxes that I put away as I was cutting them, so we could throw them away really easily for later. So very awesome. That's another great thing that happened. Number 4, I did some showering. It's always good to stay hygienic, no matter what. So big thumbs up for that. As for the whole wood cutting, there was this hilarious thing that happened where this June bug was coming up at me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a June bug!" And then my mom got a wooden beam and started whacking at it. It was pretty hilarious. So yeah. And we were even recording the whole event, or most of the event, with my camera in time hyperlapse mode. So that was pretty great. My sister was even working on knitting some covers for pillows, and I asked if it'd be all right to do a hyperlapse of her knitting some of her work, and she said sure. So we have some of that too. Pretty awesome. But there's one thing that wasn't so good that happened, and that was that the stopper for the buzzsaw that I was using to cut the pieces of wood stopped working, and that meant that the buzzsaw just kept on spinning and spinning, which we did a little research afterwards about how the safety about that, and it turns out it's not safe at all. It could end up being a serious problem. So we found out that maybe it's the little rubber stoppers inside of the device. I think they're called. Well, I'm forgetting what they're called right now. But they're like these things that you pop out using a flat head screwdriver, and then you look at them and make sure if they've got enough stop in them before you pop them back in and lock them in. So we inspected that. They both were fine. The problem was when I locked back in the second one that we inspected, I accidentally broke the little screw-on thing. So we had to order that on Amazon. So that sucked. So the fact that the both of those were perfectly fine leads us to believe maybe from all the sawdust that had been kicking up in the air, it got into the machine and caused the machine to not not be able to send signals inside of it to tell the buzzsaw to stop. So yeah, maybe it was really dusty and we need to shoot some compressed air in there, which is entirely possible. If not, it might be something else, but I don't really know. But yeah, that was one bad thing that happened. But again, after the shower, I helped my mom with bringing some wet carpet over a hanging area so she could spray the soap out of it. And yeah, that was pretty great. And then finally, we sat outside after doing all of our hard work. Oh, wait, no, sorry, my bad. I'm jumping ahead. What happened actually was we decided to go for a lunch break. We had homemade bean and cheese burritos. My mom made them. I made some fries to go with it, fried in beef tallow, mind you. It was fantastic. Really delicious. And after we were done eating that, we finished our work. Seeing as the buzzsaw was no longer working, I had to use a different saw. At first, we tried this different plug-in handsaw where it was like, hooked to a plug in order to work. It didn't work at all. We tried like cutting through the wood and it just wouldn't cut through the wood, which was awful. But then we found another saw, which was like a kind of like a jackhammer saw. It like went back and forward to cut whatever was in its way. And that one worked much better than the other one, and it was battery powered, so that's pretty great. I think it was Craftsman branded. So yeah, I used that to finish the rest of the wood, and when I did finish, it felt quite good. And then yeah, that's when I took the shower. My mom did all the, and then she needed my help with putting the carpet around, and then so she could spray it, and yeah, then we went outside. We enjoyed the pool and the new fence. Our family friend joined us, and then we decided, as a reward for all of our hard work, we were going to get some frozen yogurt. So we did just that. My mom drove off, me, her together, and we were there. I decided to get the more low note items like the birthday cake dough or batter, and the coffee and the fudge brownie and the peanut butter, and I even added some toppings on top, like brownie topping and graham cracker dust, and what was that other one? That I think it was Butterfinger dust too, and cream puffs and an Oreo cookie, and cake bits. I went absolutely crazy with mine. And yeah, that was another awesome thing that happened. Yeah, we sat outside. We enjoyed the sweet treat and each other's company. We had some pretty good conversations. Then I asked for the code for the restroom, got it, went inside, washed my hands because they were sticky, then left. Then yeah, we went in the car, we drove off, and when we got back, I decided I wanted to go for a walk, so I did oh well, I did finish the rest of the Preston Dennett and Area 52 video. It was very interesting. Yeah. And then after that, I went for a walk around the neighborhood while listening to an audiobook um, about Robert Monroe's Gateway program. So that was really cool. I think it was like called Out of the Body audiobook or something like that. It was really interesting. Then when I returned, um, our family friend asked if we were interested in watching Fallout. So, wait, no, my sister asked that. So I asked the family friend. They said yes. I asked my mom. They said yes. Yeah, we were about to watch Fallout. Almost forgot after my walk and before the whole Fallout thing. I actually did go outside and do some meditation, which was very nice, very serene, very peaceful. And then I went around asking about Fallout. So yeah. So we sat down, we watched this episode. It was really interesting, really cool. It was like a continuation. I mean, obviously, but like, yeah, it was showing that like Maximus is meets this new guy. He doesn't really trust him, but the new guy's trying to earn his loyalty. But then they stop by this facility where there are like ghoul kids that are working there and normal kids, which are being headed by this guy who was a former dude who worked at the Brotherhood, but because he turned into a ghoul, he no longer could anymore. So yeah, and that whole subplot where like they're apparently working on removing caps, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are removing those caps. I'm your boss now." But yeah, in this scene, like the guy who's part of the Brotherhood, a different sect of the Brotherhood, wants to take out the ghouls because he sees them as an abomination. But Maximus has, you know, what like a heart and sympathy for the ghoul kids, so he decides to take out the guy who was going to do the deed of taking everyone out who was a ghoul. And yeah, that was that subplot. It was very interesting. It showed where Maximus's morality and potential loyalty lies, and you know what he believes is right versus what is wrong. I thought that was a good little insight into his character. We then get to the subplot of the lady of the series, the main lady character, who is brought into like this Roman like looking area where these guys are like trying to figure out what to do with her. They say something where that like she's like, "Oh, you guys don't understand it, what you're talking about." So they decide to crucify her, pretty much. Not hardcore nail in, but just roped in on a cross. And there's a really fun and cool cameo. I mean, if you've seen the show, then you know who I'm talking about. But if you haven't, I'm not going to say it. All I'm going to say is uh, you're not going to be alone in understanding who that cameo is going to be. Wink, wink. Anyways, yeah, very fun cameo. So after, so yeah, she's like hanging there. She's dying of dehydration and thirst. But then we do cut to the ghoul bounty hunter guy character who he's still at that facility where like he's in severe pain because of the giant you know lobster, not lobster, it was a little insect who constantly has the spike on his tail. Scorpion, the giant mutant scorpion, like hit him in the leg. So he cuts that chunk of his leg off so the rest of his body doesn't get infected or have that severe pain. And I guess he's a ghoul, so he can take some missing flesh. Oof, sounds painful. But then I'm thinking about that scene earlier in the first season where like the guy who became a ghoul got hit around the neck. but then when he pulled it out, that kind of formed back in him. So maybe the same thing happened with his ghoul character. I don't know. But yeah, the ghoul character decides he wants to save the lady, so he goes ahead and does that. And there is one scene where he does meet this like robot character um, that he's friends with, which is interesting. Of course, we do have that flashback scene where the ghoul bounty hunter was a human before he became a ghoul, and before the bombs dropped and all that stuff. Where he's like at this meeting where like his friend gets an honorary award and everything seems to be going really good. But then like there's this creepy guy with a mustache in the restroom as the guy's like doing his business who's telling him like about like I forget what exactly he's talking about, but clearly like the guy who becomes the ghoul doesn't trust him, so he's like, yeah, I'm not buying into that. And he leaves. Um and yeah, he's very receptive to his friend getting the award, and he still has that lighter later on when he's a ghoul, as shown in the present moment of the show. So that's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, then we end with the flashback scenes of him seeing his wife like crying severely and asking what's going on, and the wife's like, "I just don't know what to choose for our daughter when for the f- for the vaults." And he's like, "Well, why should you be worried about that? Because you said it's just it may be a possibility, but it's not really going to happen." It's, even though he knows this is all big conspiracy and it's actually going to happen, he's trying to play dumb, so like his wife doesn't know he's been spying on her corporation and stuff. Um, so yeah, that was a pretty interesting continuation, I would say. Um, any other plot threads that I'm forgetting right now? Let's see, the girl with the Romans, the ghoul guy and his flashbacks, um, the Maximus storyline. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, in the middle of the episode, here's another cool thing that happened. My sister had the idea of getting Papa John's, so we got Papa John's. We got 2 pizzas for like $24.99. So we like split that, so it was pretty low per person. Very nice. When we returned, we brought the pizza in. Yeah, we ate that while watching the rest of the episode while having a Pepsi Zero Sugar. So very cool indeed. Then my mom and family friend wanted to watch a show they were watching on Netflix. I was like, well, they explained the whole show to me, and while it did sound very intriguing, also they were on the final episode. I don't really like watching shows at the very end. I prefer watching it from beginning to end. Otherwise, I'm spoiling the whole experience if I watch the end. It does make sense to me. So I decided to go to my room. I decided to work more on that dumb Orson Welles hot dog video. And then I played a little bit of this game that was for free for PlayStation Plus Essential members called, which I used to be the premium because the last one I got was like at a deal where it was deeply discounted. But now it's like $160. I'm not paying that much. I'm getting the $80 plan. So I got that, and it came free with this. Well, not really free, but like it came with the game Grounded, which was an Xbox Game Studio Obsidian joint. So I was like, ooh, Xbox game on a PlayStation platform. Let me try this. So yeah, I played that. Surprisingly, very interesting. I like the whole idea of like you're this kid who is in this like you're super small in a giant backyard area. It's a very creative, unique idea. It's like takes place in the 90s, and the bugs and insects all look like giant monsters and stuff. It's a really unique unique approach to the whole thing, and I think it's really cool that they Obsidian decided to do something that creative. Very nice. So yeah, I play a little bit of that. intermittently was working on the dumb hot dog video. I was using Gemini 3.5 extended thinking mode, and then I switched to Claude Sonnet 4.6. I used that until eventually it said that the servers were overloaded, so I couldn't use anymore, which is the first time I'm ever hearing about that. Normally, you could just have access to a chatbot and not have to worry about servers being overloaded. But now the servers are overloaded. Makes me wonder what's really going on. It's kind of odd. But yeah, then I was like, oh, time to make this video. So here it is. Lots of cool things happened today. Very exciting, very enjoyable. I think this was a pretty big win. It helped out my mom. Although, one last crummy thing, I got a really bad sunburn, especially on the back of my neck. Like, it kind of hurts right now. Didn't put on sunscreen, so rule of thumb, if you're working for an extended periods outside, I highly recommend putting on sunscreen. Otherwise, your skin's going to get damaged, it's going to age faster, and you're going to look like a really, really wrinkly much sooner, and you don't want that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Thank you for checking this new video out. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone, and have yourselves a good night.